The decisions they make influence sports in Arizona now and in the future. Every move they make is news. Doug and Wolf present Newsmakers Week 2014. Presented by National Bank of Arizona. Arizona Sports, now on 98.7 FM.
Doug and Wolf here on Arizona Sports, now on 98.7 FM. Just talking about something off air that made me lose it a little bit. March 22nd, the Diamondbacks have a doubleheader.
No.
But it's going to sound weird because it is as typical like you have every time in the States. You have a Saturday night game and then you have a Sunday day game, and that's what the Diamondbacks have in Australia. But for us, because of the time change, it's a 1 a.m. first pitch on the 22nd.
Love it.
And then the next game is the same day for us. It's a 7 o'clock primetime start, even though it's Sunday afternoon. So that means this is how I think in radio. Jeff Munn's got a pregame show at 12:30, midnight 30 on the 22nd.
Get some sleep.
And then you've got him coming to bed and coming back for a 6:30.
Right.
As a pregame show.
He's going to be a mess, isn't he?
Yeah. So that'll be highly entertaining.
D-Max fans.
Wow! I didn't know you had that talent.
No. Oh, you didn't?
No.
Oh, man.
Not money, but you know what? That's going to be a great trip for us, although it's a quick turnaround. I mean, you leave on a Sunday, you get there on Tuesday. You got to work out that Tuesday night.
Yeah.
You work out Wednesday, Thursday, you play an exhibition game Friday against Team Australia. Saturday night game, Sunday day game, fly out right after, get back Sunday.
Now, before we get into some of the hardcore stuff here, I've got to ask you this because I'm fascinated by this. How does a vegan travel? I mean, it's got to be a little bit difficult, right? I want my veggies.
Yeah, and remember, it's not a political statement. It's something my wife made me do after I was diagnosed with cancer, and I'm a meat and cheese and potato guy, so it's been tough. But
I
find
thought that
places.
Was your decision.
No, it was Amy's decision.
Was it?
Oh
really?
Yeah. She's still. Yeah, we're both still doing it. It's 2 years now, but it is tough.
And you look terrible.
Yeah, I know.
Get a burger.
Right. Thanks, Doug. But no, you find places. There are places everywhere, and you can always, wherever you go to eat, you can eat something. Yeah, but there's a great place in Sydney called Lord of the Fries.
No. Yeah. William Golding, 1954.
Lord of the Fries.
Yeah.
Oh,
now
really good.
That's outstanding. Derrick Hall, team president, CEO, joining us for Newsmakers Week, presented by National Bank of Arizona. The speech from Bud Selig.
Yes.
What's really going to happen? Is he even going to say anything? Is he going to demand best behavior between Diamondbacks and Dodgers? And point blank, I want to see someone go down, will they?
I think the crew chief obviously will warn both teams ahead of time, and there's going to be a lot of people traveling on this trip. I would imagine Joe Torre will be there, and Tony La Russa and others from baseball operations. So they're going to warn both teams, but I think we'll be on our best behavior. There's no secret that these two teams can't stand one another, and someone may get hit, but I guarantee it'd be by accident. But they're going to be watching closely. There'll be warnings, and I think it's great. There's so much of a heated rivalry right now between the two teams, and our entire division has gotten better. The Giants have just been quiet, plugging along. You always have to worry about them. The Rockies made some great offseason moves. The Padres finished stronger than anybody other than the Dodgers. I mean, this is a tough division. It's anybody's division. We've gotten much better in the offseason. We'll see, but I love the fact that the Dodgers can't stand the D-backs.
So why did you extend Kevin Towers and Kirk Gibson this year?
Yeah, Wolf, it was the right thing to do, in my opinion. I mean, it didn't help. I used the word healthy. I didn't think it was healthy going into spring training with the target on their backs, the lame duck status, the on the hot seat, when we didn't feel that way. And, we were going to go into the offseason with the approach of, you've got 1 year left. You're still secure, now go out there and perform. It's a performance business. Yet we have a lot of faith in these guys, and it's not fair for them. It's not fair for their staffs. It's not fair for the players. If you're a player in that locker room, in that clubhouse, and you don't know if your manager is going to be here next year and he's telling you what to do you even listen? You know that as a player. I mean, Wolf, it's
difficult.
It is. It makes more sense for us, especially hiring coaches. And their first question is, well, is Gibby going to be here beyond this year? I'm asking for a 2-year deal, yet he's only got a 1-year deal. For all those reasons, it makes sense to have them both here locked up, and they're both doing a great job. They've been together 3 years. They've never had a losing season. Their first year together, they win the division. They go on. They should have won the NLDS, but we know what happened there. One guy in particular. And, here we are today thinking we're still as good as we were in 2011. I mean, these guys have done a terrific job. Kevin Towers, by the way, is one of the most well-respected general managers in the game. He has the best relationship championships in the game. He's got tremendous experience. I couldn't be happier, with him. And you watch Gibby now, and he's just got this whole new sense of enthusiasm and focus and motivation. He's
saw
just
it out at Salt River
unbelievable so far this year. So I'm very happy.
In the Sesame Street knowledge of the Doug and Wolf Show, if you didn't know what Derrick Hall was referring to, today's show is brought to you by the number 8, if you were wondering. The one thing, though, about the move that you made, you said you don't want to deal with the hot seat. But if you go 81-81 again, are they not on the hot seat?
Well, I don't like 81 and 81. I haven't been happy with the last 2 seasons, but that doesn't mean I'm not happy with the 2 of them. It's not their fault. They're not the ones out there playing. They're not the ones getting injured. It was you look at last year, we suffered a lot of injuries, and a lot of teams can say that, but we really did. We never had the same team out there. And for the most part, it was a good season. I mean, we were in first place for 67 straight days. Over 80 days we were in first place, and the wheels fell off. We can blame a lot of reasons for that, and we can't really put our finger on one, but I can tell you it's not Gibby and it's not KT. Now, there may come a time where you think, it's time to make a change. Right now is not. If we finish 81-81, I don't think it is either.
So the futures of KT and Gibby are not tied at the hip? They're not sitting in the same rowboat?
Well, you know what I love today, Wolf, that general managers and managers have to be on the same page. They get along so well. When I started in this game, we had a general manager who sat up in his office. He rarely went down to go talk to the manager. He went up in his box during the games, didn't go down to the clubhouse after. That's not the way it is today. You have to have communication. The general manager spends pregame down in the manager's office, post-game down in the manager's office, and it's not the kind of organization we are anyways. We're all in this together. It's one big family. However, you can't say if one happens to one, it's going to happen to the other. I love the fact that their years are tied up together, but it doesn't mean that you can't make a change at either manager or general manager without making a change at the other.
The financial situation of the Diamondbacks.
Much, much better.
Well, okay. I wasn't even going to ask. So
today's show is about
other than Bernard Gilkey, everything's off the books now,
still
right?
getting paid. Yeah, everybody else is off the books.
Okay.
We have freed ourselves of the $250 million of deferred salaries, and we're at an all-time high when it comes to revenues.
I was going to say, I wasn't even going to go there, but you let it on.
No, this is the first time we're going to break the $200 million mark in revenues. It's the highest our payroll has ever been. We're committed to well over $100 million. That's a good sign for fans. I mean, what we've always said, when we make any money, it's not going in our owners' pockets. In fact, the owners have never put a penny in their pockets. It goes right back into the product on the field, and that's what we intend to do. That's what we're doing now.
How about in-game operations? Anything special on the docket for this season?
Yeah, I'd say the big one is instant replay. Now that we have instant replay, we haven't been able to show any instant replay in-game. And so we've always thought you want to give...
That's always driven me nuts.
Me too. Yeah, and there were times where we got fined by baseball because we showed something we weren't supposed to show.
I didn't know that.
I can remember Max Scherzer came in his Major League debut out of the bullpen, and he struck out, I think it was 8, and we showed each of those strikeouts. 2 of them were caught looking, and because they weren't swinging strikes, now these are our fans, we were fined, I think it was $100,000, and it was unbelievable, but it was to protect the umpires. Now we're able to show those replays. We're going to show all replays. We can slow it down. We can freeze it. I mean, it's great. Why should someone at home have an advantage over somebody in the stadium?
And the other thing, what offended me, and I might be reaching sometimes, but I was offended because I felt like you're saying college football fans, no offense, are classy or are able to control themselves better than major league fans. Like they are okay to see a controversial replay, but we can't let a baseball fan see it. And that's always, I as a fan, I felt insulted because this was my game.
And 29 other teams felt the same way I did. It's unique that in our sport, the umpires have their own union. And so, they have collective bargaining as well, and they had protection. However, now they're bending a bit, which is nice. I mean, they realize we have to move forward. Look at the rest of the sports, look at the rest of the leagues, and don't have such thick skin.
How are ticket sales?
Really good, Wolf. Indication of where we thought we would be as where we are today. We're well ahead of projection. That's a great sign. It shows that our fans are excited about this upcoming season. They like the moves we've made. So it's a good sign. We're hoping to be where we were last year, hopefully a little above, and we're pacing well ahead of where we were last year at this time. So that's a very good sign. Unfortunately, we're losing 2 home games because we are going to play in Sydney, and those are our home games. So we'll make up for it with the other 79.
So coming up next, now we have to ask the question from a financial standpoint, since we just brought it up.
We're doing very well.
Can the Diamondbacks keep up with the Dodgers? No, we don't just mean on the field. How is the crazy payroll and the $2 billion and the television deals of the LA Dodgers affecting the Arizona Diamondbacks? That's next on Arizona Sports, now on 98.7 FM.
The decisions they make influence sports in Arizona now and in the future. Every move they make is news. Doug and Wolf present Newsmakers Week 2014. Presented by National Bank of Arizona. Arizona Sports, now on 98.7 FM.